right, all right, all right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right. Let me see here. Shalom, little crack, yeah. I'm good. All right, I'm just about to start. I just started. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now. Say it again. I don't see. Tell him. The store's still open. The store. Tell him. I'm gonna hit him and tell him. Shalom, little crack, yeah. All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Back. Here we go. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing this truth to you since 1969, and that truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. Our oppressors, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Today's title, The Fall of Esau, America and the Israelis. As we all know, America is in a proxy war with everybody over in the Middle East. You understand? America is at war with Russia via the Ukrainians. You know, America is at war with the South Americans, with the people in the over in Mexico and all of that. America is spreading herself thin. Anytime a country spreads itself thin, it ain't nothing else but to come but their destruction. America's falling apart. America was one of the greatest countries on the planet at one time. After World War II, all of that stuff began to fade. America took her strength for granted. Now, if you look at America now, what is America doing? America's fighting wars, but America's losing wars. The last war America won was what? World War II. You understand that Afghan war? As soon as America went up by the Afghans took over about an hour after they left. You understand? And they ran up out of there. America lost the Vietnam War. We look at America and we look at how many, casualties. We look at casualties as a win. You understand? But in real wars, in real time wars are not looked at like that. You understand? It's overthrowing a government, overthrowing a country, taking over a country. You understand? America didn't take over Afghanistan. Look at Afghanistan now. You understand? America didn't take over Vietnam. Vietnam is back to being what it was. You understand? We look at these things because we look at all of the bodies, just like we look at, at the war over in Israel. You understand that the so-called Israelis are warring with the Palestinians, with Hezbollah, with the Houthis, and now with Iran. We look at, and I was always taught that, the Israeli had one of the strongest armies on the planet. That was my thinking. That was my belief, which was a lot of us. We looked at the things that were going on. Go ahead.
Why did you think that?
Why did I think that? Because of the propaganda of America. America has a lot of propaganda. You understand?
Right.
And right now, we look at America because we live in America. We look at America as the greatest country on the planet, the strongest. Now, I don't want to say the greatest, but I want to say the strongest. Why do we look at it like that?
Like you say, the propaganda, and it's also like America feel like they can't be touched.
Right?
Precept.
Wait a minute, before you grab that precept, why does America feel like they can't be touched?
Do you feel like they're a superpower?
Well, technically they are a superpower. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But why does America feel like they can't be touched? It's a reason why. It's a reason why America feels like they can't be touched. America feels like it can't be touched because ever since 1991 and everything after, everything America has been fighting has been a proxy war.
Something like Desert Storm.
Exactly. Listen, think about this, right? You ever seen somebody fighting in school and before the whole fight, the person that's really supposed to be fighting, go ahead, the person that's really supposed to be fighting, they'll get somebody else to say something to the person that they want to fight. And then all of a sudden, you'll see that person push that person, and they'll make them two fight, and then they'll get in a fight, and then that person that really supposed to be fighting will jump in, and then they jump on like that. That's America. America fights a lot of proxy wars. This war with Russia and Ukraine, that's a proxy war. America really wanted to fight Russia, but America, I don't want to say didn't have the heart, but they knew that Russia had capabilities that they could not have handled. So they allowed, you understand, the Ukrainians to go in.
So it's a lot. It's like an enemy of my enemy is friend. Not really, but we got the same enemy. I'm gonna help you up.
Listen, check this out, right? Even with the countries that America uses as a proxy, America is really an enemy to that country. Right. America doesn't have any love for Ukraine. America really doesn't have any love for the Israelis. Why? That's another proxy war. Now, what America didn't want to do was get into a hand-to-hand combat war with Iran, right? So what they did was they allowed the Ukrainians to mess up on the Palestinians. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Which led to them battling with Hezbollah, which led to them battling with the Houthis and all of that, like that. They didn't want the Israelis to get into it with Iran, but as a proxy, maybe I can let them test Iran so I can see what Iran really has. You ever see somebody let their buddy get beat up because they really wanted to fight the person but didn't want nobody to know, so they let somebody else do it so they could see? Remember, you used to do that in school. We used to do that.
I never did.
No, listen. I'm saying us. We did that in school. That's the things that happened when we were in school. You understand?
I don't want to try it. Let somebody else try to, so I can size them up based on how they handle this.
Right. So, in America doing this, what is America known as in some circles?
A bully. An instigator.
No, not a bully, not an instigator. You ever heard of the term a paper tiger?
What?
A paper tiger.
A paper tiger?
A paper tiger. Look it up.
No, I never heard of that.
Look it up. Paper tiger. Listen.
If my nan ain't never said it, I ain't never heard it.
Oh, your who? Your nana?
I ain't say it.
Listen, a paper tiger is something that appears to be threatening, but really is not. It gives the appearance of strength, but it's not. You understand what I'm saying?
Like a Trojan horse.
There you go. Well, a Trojan horse is kind of different. A Trojan horse is deception.
Yeah,
It's like deception, right? But I'm gonna give you another example. Let's go with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, a paper tiger. Who's she a paper tiger to?
The black community?
I'm not gonna say the whole black community, but it's a specific demographic.
Black women.
There you go. Why is she that? She appears to be strong to them. And it's not that she appears to be strong, she appears to be one of them.
Right.
So our women as black women think irrationally. You understand what I'm saying? They think irrationally, and because they think irrationally, they only go on looks. That's a paper tiger. A paper tiger is the appearance to have strength, but really doesn't have strength. We get fooled by that. You understand what I'm saying? We get fooled by that because we believe that the thing that we're looking at has power and strength and has the ability to help us. You understand what I'm saying? This is all of this paper tiger stuff, all of this stuff with the appearance of being strong but really is not strong is the beginning of the fall of Esau, which is our title today. You understand? America's falling. What is, oh. Nah. Go ahead, you good. But the whole thing is America is giving the appearance of strength. I'm not saying that America is weak, but America is not the America that
we grew up on.
Not even that we grew up on, because listen, if you really wasn't in that last age, that world, because I wasn't even in that World War II age. You understand what I'm saying? That's when America ran up on countries and ran in there with men and ran down on everybody, regardless of what was happening. That's why the Marines get the reputation that they give. The Marines are the first one out of the boat, and the Marines are the first one ready to take a bullet. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's strength. I'm not saying that it's not stupidity, but it's strength. You understand what I'm saying? So that was America in World War II. You understand? After World War II, and after you start divvying up the bodies and you start seeing all the casualties and things like that, you start to reel back, because now you have Americans that say, no, not my children, not my son. You understand what I'm saying? And go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was good.
No, you got me now. Go ahead.
I just had the precept.
Oh, the precept. Oh, go ahead. Go with the precept. All right, but America, after a certain amount of wars, you begin to start looking at those casualties and those bodies, and then people begin to protest the wars, just like with this, when this Palestinian-Israeli thing first started. Right. You understand? A lot of people didn't realize that America was behind the whole thing. This is the reason why America is allowing them to do what they're doing. Understand something, right? In the beginning of this, they always talked about that the Palestinians, where they lived at in that Gaza Strip, was basically a petri dish. meaning it was basically an experimental area, right? Anytime America or some other European country wanted to test a weapon or test a drug or test something, they would give it to the Israelis, or if the Israelis developed something, they would test it on those Palestinians. You understand?
So the Palestinians, they in Lebanon, right? They're in Lebanon.
No, no. They're in Lebanon battling now. Palestinian is off into the Gaza Strip and all of that in the West Bank. They went over into Lebanon now.
Right, and that's why I was asking what man in Honolulu, because I saw something that said America is like funding both sides. I mean, he said yesterday, he said no, but it was saying that America was funding both sides. Like he was giving money to Israel, and he gave like I think like 20 million to Lebanon.
No, no,
He
no.
said no, then he said no.
No, no, no.
Something like that.
He didn't. He said they weren't. They not funding both sides. America has done things like that.
Okay.
In the beginning of the American Revolution, all of those World War Ones and World War Twos were backed by America on both sides. You understand what I'm saying? So when you see a lot of those old wars like that, those wars were funded by America on both sides. Them wars where America came in last. They ain't got nothing to lose. You understand? Remember in World War II, Great Britain got destroyed. You understand? The Germans got destroyed. The only country that was not hit in on their own land was who? America. Every other country suffered.
So it's like America come in the last second, clean up and try to play hero.
Clean up and play hero. But what I'm saying to you, in World War I and II, America had actual strength. You understand? But now, America, and I'm not saying that it doesn't have any strength, but America has the appearance of a paper tiger. It's not the strength that it used to be. So they're going off of reputation. The reason why the European Union was created, by America, so that America could control everybody and use everybody at her will. This is the reason why nobody attacks America. Go ahead.
No, that was all I was about to ask.
Right, that's why nobody attacks America. You understand? And this is the same reason why America is trying to discourage the Israelis from attacking Iran.
Right.
But at the same time, America wants to know too how strong Iran is.
Exactly.
When they sent those hypersonic missiles in the week before last. Listen, I just saw a video of Netanyahu today reading some stuff that he had down.
Yeah.
When those missiles hit them the other day, his hand was shaking so bad, trembling like this. You could see his hand the whole time. They had to bring the screen in closer to him so you couldn't see his hand shaking because he was so terrified. Now, when you believe the propaganda that America puts out, and you believe that America is the powerhouse that it is, and you put yourself in a position, you be the one where your hands are shaking. You understand? That paper tiger was also the Israeli army. We believed, and for a long time we believed that the Israeli army, and they on regular news, on a regular news station, which is propaganda all over again. That's the reason why you have to watch the news. You have to really pick and choose the news channels that you watch. You understand what I'm saying? Because they give off propaganda and they have you believing. You understand?
Is Hezekiah News, is that a good source?
Who?
It's like Hezekiah News or something like that. You
I
know
don't.
what I'm talking
I
about?
never heard of. I heard of it, but I never
It'd be like
watched
on
it.
YouTube or something, like clips and stuff, but it'd be like, it's sort of like BBC.
I kind of watch. I got a couple of guys that I listen to on YouTube. It's a guy Scott Ritter, John Mearsheimer, and it's another guy that I listen to. Right?
I ain't even take you off subject.
No. I'm just saying, but these are people that I listen to because a lot of that information, like Scott Ritter was what do they call it? A nuclear weapons inspector for the UN. You understand? Plus, he was a United States Marine, and he was in those early wars back in Afghanistan and things like that. You know what I mean? So he had a lot of inside information. He knows a lot of people in the UN, and he talks to a lot of you know ambassadors from other countries. So you get a lot of information like that. So I listen to a lot of different little things, and sometimes you just gotta fumble through a lot of stuff. You understand?
I had,
Go ahead. What you
I had
got?
a question about you were saying the paper tiger, right? So
Go ahead.
could that have started when they lost in Vietnam?
It could have. I can't say
Like,
exactly.
As far as like
I can't
how
say.
everybody looked at America, like they ain't really like that no more. Like they
Well,
lost
no.
in
See,
Vietnam.
you understand something, right? You really don't recognize a paper tiger like that. You understand? It's something when something like this happens, just like with the Israeli army. A lot of people don't recognize America as a paper tiger unless you're here and you see what's happening. When you look at Congress and you look at Congress back in a nowhere war, you understand what I'm saying? It's not that America is strong, it's just that the Israeli lobbyists pay enough money for them to vote in a certain way.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
You gonna believe it, sir.
So when you talking to when Netanyahu comes into America and he speaks in a certain way with the bravado, and you say, "Wow, this dude must be," but then he makes Biden look like a kid. Says, "I'm gonna do what I want to do." You understand what I'm saying? So now you got to ask yourself, what's going on here? And this is when you begin to see the weaknesses in America. But then when you see this war over here in the Middle East, you start to see the weaknesses in the Israelis. You understand? And like I said before, America's just using the Israelis as a proxy to battle somebody that they would like to see how strong is instead of stepping up and doing it themselves. You understand?
Just
Before you hit that, I want to say that, like I said, it says the definition of a paper tiger, a person or thing that appears. Okay, go ahead, read it.
well, that's on Wiki. Is what you about to read?
No, not off of there. I always go to the Merriam-Webster.
Oh, it's a lot of good.
Okay, it's a person or thing that appears threatening but is ineffectual. You understand? Now, the definition of ineffectual is not producing any or desired effect of a person, lacking the ability or qualities to cope with a role or situation. So they don't have the ability to do what you think they can do. You understand? And this is the deception of Esau. This is what our oppressor does to us every day. You understand? Our oppressor, especially here in America, our oppressor creates conditions. You understand? And he creates a condition to put us in a position to do the things so that he can come in and do what he wants to do. It's not that he's strong either, because what happens when your oppressor has power over everything, not the strength, but he has the power to make you lose your job.
You got that system.
When he has the power to say whether you can eat or not, or drink or not, or he can determine where you live at, that's not power. That's just, he has those resources. So, in fact, he has, matter of fact, the scripture, let me get the right one. Hold on
It's
for a
crazy
minute.
how this wiki definition speaking specifically to what you're saying.
Okay.
About American imperialism.
Go ahead, read it. Go ahead and read it.
It's a lot. Well, it just says the phrase "pick a tiger" is used to describe American imperialism. But it's specifically what you're saying. It said it refers to something or someone that claims to appear to be powerful or threatening, but is actually ineffectual and able to withstand challenge.
Right.
The Chinese Communist Party has been using the term particularly against the United States. That's what it says. It's a lot.
All right, I'm going into Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Give me, start at verse 47.
It's Deuteronomy 28.
And like we were saying before,
47.
right?
It's a lot.
Before you start, America has control over everything that we do here in America. America in 1638, and I always say this, in 1638, America had a law, Maryland, it was called the Maryland Doctrine of Exclusion. The Maryland Doctrine of Exclusion clearly states that no slave, descendant of a slave, or black person shall enjoy the fruits of white society. I was actually discussing this with a brother on my job today, right? And I asked him, what's the fruits of white society? What's a fruit of white society? We were standing right inside of a huge industry that has several spots all over this country, about 7 or 8 different spots. This industry that we in can sustain a nation of people and can build a community. You understand what I'm saying? The fruits of white society is not just being able to buy expensive clothes or an expensive car, but it's being able to maintain a community of people. When you own an industry, a car industry, anything big where you shipping all over the world and stuff like that, that's a fruit of white society. When you have a college, when you run a college, when you own a college, when you're able to teach your own people, that's a fruit of white society. You understand what I'm saying? When you are able to create your own curriculum, you understand? Critical race theory. What's critical race theory? Critical race theory is real American history. It tells how they destroyed us. These are the things that they don't want their children to hear, because some of their children hear that and become disgusted. You understand? So they have to keep that stuff away from them so they can maintain control, so they can maintain the power that they have. You understand? Because power is in what you can do. You understand? Mark Zuckerberg can tell you, no, I'm not doing this, and he don't have to do it. You understand? Elon Musk can say, no, I'm going to sell this book on Amazon, and you can't stop me. But soon as Kyrie Irving or somebody put that on there, is it, they start taking from you. You understand? That's the power. We look at, they always talk that thing, what's that black billionaires, the black excellency and everything like that. We don't really have black excellency. Yeah. You understand? That's not black excellency. Being right here in this truth, this is black excellency right here. This is where it all begins. This is where it all starts. Because we not controlled. You understand? We say what we get out on the street, we say what we want. You understand? You got that? Go ahead, let's read that.
Deuteronomy 28:47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
And that's what's happening to brothers and sisters now. We not celebrating, you understand, the Most High in the abundance of all things and what we have. You understand what I'm saying? It says, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with the joyfulness. You understand? Them brothers are not celebrating the Most High with joyfulness. They're celebrating themselves. You understand? And I saw somebody the other day. You know what they wrote on? And I saw the other day, somebody wrote, Puffy destroyed our generational wealth. So I said, show me where Puffy was helping people in the beginning. You understand? That's not generational wealth. A single person destroying black people all the way around is not generational wealth. He wasn't sharing no kind of wealth with nobody. You understand? It ain't till he take a fall that he starts saying, you know, we gotta stick together. And every time a Negro fall, they always say we gotta stick together when they kicking you all the way up. they start falling down. They want you to stick with them. You understand what I'm saying? But go ahead. Deck 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Think about it. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies. Because we don't celebrate the Most High, because we don't do things in the way that the Most High tells us to do. We get to serve our enemies. Look at us in America today. We sitting here serving our enemies.
Right.
We gotta go out. We gotta ask them, you know, can we work for you? You understand what I'm saying? Can I work for you? Can I buy your clothes? Think about how many females out there, especially those rap females out there begging people to wear their clothes. You wear your clothes, you know, I can help you get up. I can help this brand go. It's the same thing Puffy did. I can help that Ciroc. I can shuck and jive. If he had that much money, right? Why not just start your own from the bottom? I mean, think about it, right? Why am I going to tap dance for you when I can shake the dice for myself? You understand? They rolled the dice to pick him, and he did it. You understand what I'm saying? So why do we tap dance for them when we can roll the dice ourselves? I mean, think about it. If it was a failure, if he failed, then he failed on his own. You understand? But you got him up and then turn around and want to get yourself up.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know why he went
Well, see, listen, understand something, right? We know where to go for help, for big help, as opposed to working your way up. I know a quick way to do it. So if I help him get up, then I can get him to help me get up, because he wanted to get his own brand up. You understand? My thing wasn't he supposed to be a billionaire?
That's what I'm saying.
So why did he step over there? Because he wasn't really a billionaire. When you don't really have control, you still go to your oppressor for the power that the oppressor has. That's a paper tiger. He appeared to be a billionaire. He appeared to be in control. But when you hit the wrong people, you find out who's really in control. That's a paper tiger. He looked like he had power. Now he's being weakened. Forgot to turn the phones down, right? You gotta turn the phones down. Put your phones on silent. I gotta tell myself that, right? So look, it says a paper tiger is someone who at first glance seems to be in charge, but who at closer examination is completely powerless. That's Puffy. Completely powerless. Now look at, listen, he kissing up to everybody now. He reaching out now. You understand? Now when people was reaching out to him to get what he owed them, I don't owe you nothing. I ain't never did nothing to nobody. Then everything start coming out. You understand what I'm saying? And when you operate under your oppressor, you become the same paper tiger as the oppressor. Listen, I call the oppressor a paper tiger because we in the truth. We know where real power lies. We know where our strength lies at. Look, I'm knocking everything over, you know? But we know where real strength and power lies at. You understand? It says a paper tiger gives the impression of being powerful. Gives the impression.
If I could, I still had that
Go ahead.
precept in America.
Hey, let's finish that other one first.
Oh, you done with that? It's still like, verse 48?
Yeah.
Still like. Deuteronomy 28, 48.
Go ahead.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
In hunger and in thirst. You understand? When we hungry, we got to go to them. You understand?
Yeah.
In thirst, we got to go to them. Think about it, right? They tell you you can't even collect rainwater.
solar power.
Or solar power. Think about it, right? Solar power is free. Solar power is all around us. When you're outside, solar power is everywhere.
Right.
It's free. But this is how the oppressor operates. You understand? Go ahead. And hunger.
Saying that they was going to do that?
So what's that?
It's not scripture that they going to try to charge for water or air, some shit like that.
Listen,
Like,
check
God
this
got
out.
a scripture on it.
Listen, they already charging for water,
Right.
right? You already get a water bill.
Right. But that's something.
Well, excuse me, certain of us get a water bill.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Certain of us get a water bill. But think about it, right? We got to go to them to get food. They tell you, you can't raise animals. You can't raise an animal. You can't raise chickens. If you have a certain amount, you got to get them registered.
You know what else he says a lot? You can't grow, you can't have a garden
You can't have a garden.
in your backyard
Right.
in a city. Like, in
Yeah,
Baltimore.
yeah.
You can't have a garden. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Because you have to rely on us. You understand? Go ahead.
It's a lot. It's, it's a lot.
And
In
nakedness,
hunger, and
yeah.
in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
In one of all things. You understand? Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed you.
Listen, we got that yoke of iron upon our necks. You understand? Think about how many brothers and sisters are starving. Think about how many think about it, right? We come under the bridge all the time coming down Franklin. All of those homeless people you see up under those bridges, in those tents. You understand them homeless encampments? You understand? That's a yoke of iron right there. You understand? Not just to mention being in jail, in prison. You understand? Destroyed. We destroyed as a people. We see that every time we go downtown, right? See all them brothers and sisters that's out of their mind on drugs. That's a yoke of iron. You understand?
It's everybody. The niggas that selling drugs is doing drugs.
Exactly. And we see that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You understand? Go ahead. What you was great say?
I'm still, that was it on that.
Yeah, that was it on that.
I had, back when you were saying about America being, I'm just going to get this, Obadiah 1 and,
I'm already there.
Obadiah 1 and 3 say, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Hold up. Stop for a minute.
Oh, no, this is,
Yeah. Go ahead.
thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Start back over again.
Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Listen, they're talking about America. The pride of America's heart has deceived it. So much so that they had that riot on January 6th.
Right.
You remember that?
Right.
That's the pride of America. You understand? America never thought anything like that would happen. That's the pride of America. You understand? So much so that America doesn't even recognize it's a paper tiger. You understand? When it's bad when you are a paper tiger and you don't recognize that you're a paper tiger. You understand? This is the fall of America. Listen, that was a bright beacon marker. It has already been markers that let America know that America was declining, but that was a beacon of light to let everybody in America know, like, something that we never thought would have happened. And then everybody start looking like, yo, what the? You know, when people going up into the Capitol, you understand? And they pushing police out the way, boom, fighting, boom, 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 and all of that. Something we never would have thought would have happened. You understand? This is the beginning of the end. This is that bright beacon mark. It's been other markers we just haven't noticed. All of those wars that we thought America was winning, but they were actually losing, that was the beacon right there. That was the beacon right there. But this was that light that the Most High allowed us to see visually. Everybody see across the earth. People saw that happen in other countries and started saying, oh, this can't be America. Not the powerful, you understand? The unbeatable. You understand what I'm saying? It's always that thing that's within that destroys you. You understand? And this is the reason why we have to remove ourselves. Listen, it's okay to be in America, but we can't be of America. When you become of America, you fall with America. Go ahead.
Come out of her, my people.
There you go. Come out of her, my people. Go ahead.
It said, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
And listen, that's America's thought. You understand? When America marches into other countries like Afghanistan, when they bomb these countries, just like Israel's doing right now, dropping all of these bombs, you understand? Who shall bring me down to the ground? You ever see how Netanyahu sits up on that podium and talks? Who's going to bring me down? You understand? Head swollen like that. You understand? Chest, boom. Who shall bring me down? This is that right there. You understand? Go ahead.
Though thou, verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Listen, this is where they put themselves. They exalt themselves like the eagle. They're above everybody. They're the most dignified. You understand? They have the most, what do they call it? Pride, that pride. It's that pride, that honor, that pride and everything. It's that thing that makes you, when you're around other people, your chin high and you're looking down on everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And though thou set thy nest amongst the stars.
And though they set their nest among the stars. What is that?
ISS.
The international. There you go.
ISS.
There you go. That International Space Station, right? But they also set themselves above the true children of Israel. They set themselves among us, above us. You understand? They know exactly who we are. And they have to keep us in that position so that they can be above the stars, so that they can be above us, so that they can hold their heads up. But when the tides change, they're going to have to look up. You understand? Go ahead.
I forgot verse 2. Verse 2 is, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
They are great, and look at them. They're greatly despised, even amongst the heathen. Listen, those Arabs hate them. You understand what I'm saying? They hate them. But can you blame them? Listen, for years and years and years, especially as a kid, I believed America was unconquerable. I believed that they were the evil ones over there. And I'm not saying that they're not. But when you get older, you see what America does to entice people, to make people. Listen, I saw, this was back in the 70s, right? And I don't want to get it wrong, but I'm believing this was the Iran hostage situation. And they had some people on a plane. They were sitting there on the plane. They brought one person to the edge of the plane, bow, hit them, and dropped them off the plane. This was on the news. I said, yo, they evil. Yo, they evil.
That shit was ice cold.
I'm not saying that it's right? But we never understood what America did when they went over there and destroyed their people to make them come back and do what they did. We don't see when America goes over there and carpet bombs whole communities. The same thing that the Israelis are doing right here with the Palestinians. But think about this, right? They carpet bomb us every day.
Right.
With the drugs. You understand? With the unemployment. With the public housing. That's carpet bombing us. Think about it. You understand? They may have gotten, listen, I understand over 80,000 of them may have been unalived in a year, right? But think about millions of us over decades. Over decades. You understand what I'm saying? But because it's done covertly, we don't recognize that. So we don't place ourselves in that situation. And because America poses itself as the land of the free and the home of the brave, another paper tiger thing. You understand? We don't look at ourselves and we don't put ourselves in the same position as what we seeing happening to these other people. And hold on for a minute. And this is the reason why we sympathize when something happens to somebody over in France or Paris. We sympathize when those Afghans was falling off that plane as America was leaving them over there to the Taliban. We sympathize when those people was over there snatching up them 250 African women. We sympathize with them. But let me ask a question, right? Who sympathizes with us? Nobody called for America to stop killing the so-called Negroes in America. You understand? 50,000 women missing? That's only in one state. Think about when they went out behind that old prison and found 200 bodies of prisoners just a couple of months ago. Let me ask you this: who cried out for that? Did any Palestinians cry out for that? Did any Tahudis or did any Iraqis or Iranians cry out for that? No. No Lebanese or no nothing. But we sympathize with everybody.
France ain't proud for it.
France ain't gonna cry out for it. You understand? Exactly. Go ahead. What you got?
No, it's a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know. So it's not meant for them. You understand? You hit that Obadiah, right? Where you left off at?
I was done at verse.
Hit that
4.
6 and 7 for me.
Verse 4, come. It's verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Listen, how is his hidden things searched out? Look at what's happening. All of his hidden things are being searched out now. Everybody finding out that really America is standing behind Israel in that war. Everybody finding out that America is standing behind the Ukrainians in that war. You understand? They want to see what they can do. This is how these things are searched out. You understand? When we in America and we living good, we not thinking about anything else. We not thinking about the destruction.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
It's popped in my head, right? So America is behind, that's why I'm saying he's playing both sides. And America behind the Ukraine war.
Right.
But when Trump was in office, Russia stole the election.
Who said Russia stole the election?
I'm saying, like Russia paid for the election.
Wait a minute, listen
This is
again.
the propaganda.
Again, right? We not for sure because of the lies that come out of Egypt, for the lies that come out of Babylon. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's not true, but I'm not agreeing with it. You understand what I'm saying? Look at what America's doing to Russia right now. That's a mark against them. I'm not saying that they didn't, but when you look at the history of America, when you look at her track record, you understand what I'm saying? I question everything with America. I ain't saying that I don't question Russia, but I gotta question this. You understand? Okay, hit that 6 and 7. Hit that 7 now.
Verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
Listen, it says all the men of thy confederacy. What does that mean? Think of the word confederacy. They are confederate against us. Listen, got you, right? Confederacy, an alliance of people or groups formed for an illicit purpose. So when the Bible says they are confederate against us, that means you have a bunch of people or a group of people or a group coming together to do something illicit against you. Now, what does illicit mean? Say it again.
It's a harmony.
No.
To do some evil plotting against you.
There you go. Listen, it's the forbidden laws or rules or customs. Illicit rules. They come against you to do illicit things, to do illegal things, things that go against the law. Things that, think about this, right? They already talking about the so-called Israelis are breaking all kinds of international law. They're committing illicit things, right? Breaking laws. America breaks laws against us. Listen, America still has us enslaved.
Right. Full time.
That's an illicit thing. That's an international law. But what they do is they paper mache.
13th Amendment.
They plaster and they paint over and make it look pretty. So it doesn't look like slavery anymore. Just like you say, what you just said?
The 13th Amendment.
The 13th Amendment, right? So they say you're so-called emancipated. What does emancipation mean? See, and that's the thing too, right? You got to start looking at words. And that's another thing about that Kamala Harris. You got to start looking at the words that she used. You understand? Kamala Harris says a lot without saying nothing.
That's what I was about to say. When she uses her words.
Right. She says a lot without saying nothing. You can ask her a question, she gonna fumble around the question and say a lot of nothing. You understand what I'm saying? The emancipation, what does it mean to be emancipated? To be emancipated means to be removed from being private property into state property, right? So when you become state property, you become property of the state, right? So now, if you become property of the state, now I make these laws that say, listen, if you do this, this, and this, then I am able to reincarcerate you and re-enslave you and have you working for free again. So now, I always say this too, right? I remember back in the 80s, every time those wildfires would break out in California, right? We would always hear a firefighter loss count. They lost 10, we lost 20, we lost 40. This year we lost 52 firefighters. Well, all of a sudden, stop losing firefighters. How is that? Especially, listen, that fire, it was either last year or the year before that destroyed Paradise, California.
I was just talking already about that.
Wait a minute. A fire that was hot enough to melt stone.
Right.
Melt stone and steel.
And steel. I was just talking about that.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you not lose any firefighters in that?
There was still some trees intact.
Wait a minute. Listen, stop. But you seen people get, they said the fire ran people down in cars.
Right.
And they died in cars. Trying to get away. You understand what I'm saying? So how does that happen and you don't lose a single firefighter?
Because y'all had slaves doing it.
There you go. There you go. They promise you, listen, we'll knock a couple of years off your, listen, we don't need them. Leave them out there, boom. We go, listen, they got an abundance of them. And this is the thing that we have to think about as a people. Whenever you get incarcerated, you are now property of the state. Meaning you are not you anymore, you are property. They call you property of the state. You're not a person anymore. You're not looked at even as a half a human, even as what they call it, 3/4, 2/3 of a person. You're not even 3/5 of a person. You're just like a piece of cattle, a cow, an ox. You understand? Go ahead.
What you saying crazy, right? Heavy. Because we make up the majority of this. So who they got out there? We make up the majority of the prisoners.
Exactly. Blacks and Hispanics.
And I just seen something, if I could, I seen something on, I think it's on Netflix, they got a documentary just about it. It's like, I don't know if it's a show or a documentary about, like, prisoner firefighters.
Right.
But, to add on to that point.
Wait a minute. You just said they got a documentary?
I think it's on Netflix about about them fighting wildfires or something like that.
Who? The prisoners?
Yeah.
See,
one of them ran away or something like that.
Wait a minute, but you see how they make it, but you see how they profiting off of that. You understand?
And then I saw on YouTube was a documentary in Alabama, just about specifically what you're saying about once you get incarcerated, right? So they have it where as though they make you work for free, like you can't get no days off.
Right.
They take the same prisoners there, they let you work at Golden Corral, KFC, Popeyes, when they let you work at any of these spots, right? but 90% of the prisoners that's on work release, they get denied parole.
Right.
That's crazy, right? So they'll let you go back to society, work for damn near free.
Yeah.
But you still a threat to the community to be released back into society.
Right.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
That's slavery, right?
Well, listen.
It's a lot.
Listen, check this out, right? It's slavery, just like you said, right? But it's slavery at a point where we don't realize we slaves too. We slaves to this whole society.
That's how I feel at work. Like,
You understand? Yeah. We slaves to this whole society. And that's why you talking to you yesterday, you know what I mean? You gotta know where to have your head at. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta know how to focus. I know you got your confirmation yesterday. You understand what I'm saying? And we gotta understand where we stand at. And then we gotta understand again, we can be in this society but not be a part of this society. You understand what I'm saying? We gotta understand who we are. You understand? Go ahead.
You said verse 7, right?
Yeah.
The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
Listen, that's it right there. The men that were at peace with thee had deceived thee. You understand? Go ahead.
Come. And prevailed against thee,
Mm-hmm.
that they eat thy bread. Salah. That they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Right.
There is none understanding in him.
No understand. Listen. Our oppressor can't understand our pain, what we go through. That's what makes him an oppressor. You understand? But as long as we keep relying on our oppressor, these are the things that we're going to continue to go through. Our oppressor ain't trying to understand slavery. He ain't trying to understand hunger.
Right.
You understand? He only needs what he needs out of you. You understand? And just what he's getting. Our very soul. You understand? Blood is not enough. He needs your very essence.
Right.
You understand?
Come.
All right. You can drop that. Right? Give me that second address.
That's my favorite right here. 6 and what?
Nuh-uh. I'm going to 15 first. I'm going to 15 first.
Second verse 15?
Yeah, 15, verse 14 and 16.
Come. So second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Say that again.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
We know what that word woe means, right?
Come.
Woe means destruction. You understand? Destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. Destruction to America.
Right.
You understand? Destruction to the European Union.
Right.
Destruction to anybody that sides with America. Matter of fact, destruction to anybody that goes against the true biblical Jews of the Bible.
That's right.
Anybody that goes against the Most High.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 16, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Listen, that sword is coming upon them right now. You understand? The Most High is ready to crack them right upside the head. You understand? Everything that they did to us is going to be brought back to them. You understand? What did Scripture say? The Scripture said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. This is the faith and the patience of the saints. All we have to do is wait for the Most High to fight that battle for us. You understand what I'm saying? We got to be patient. America, just like we said before, America's a paper tiger. Listen, this is the fall of America. We saw it. We saw that marker on, what was that, January 6th? When they stormed the Capitol. We seen the beginning. We saw, well, our eyes was open to the beginning of the end. You understand? Their end means our beginning. Whenever an empire falls, another empire rises. You understand? And that's the understanding that we have to have. We have to know that America's falling, but we're not a part of America. So that fall doesn't come upon us. Listen, here's an analogy, right? When America was going through her Great Depression, we were prospering. We were building millionaires. We were building cities and towns in the 1920s, all the way through the 20s and 29. That's when America was going through that Great Depression. You understand? We were prospering. That's how we have to look at it. America can fall and we can rise. We saw it already. We saw it happen already. All we have to do is understand that we have the power to do that again. That power, Christ said the power, what did he say? What did Christ say? The kingdom of heaven is at hand. We have the power to change our condition. We saw a piece of it back then through the Great Depression. All we got to do is follow the Most High, and we can change our condition. That's all we have to do. You understand? Get into this truth. That's it. Go ahead.
He said, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is so high.
Do you?
This verse, where we at? Verse 18. No, verse 17.
Woe to
No,
the world.
verse 15.
15. There you go.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh,
Right.
and one people shall stand up and fight against another.
What's happening right now?
Exactly.
People are standing and fighting against each other, right? You got those Ukrainians fighting the Russians. You got Israelis fighting the Palestinians, the Tahudis, the Hezbollah, and everybody over there in the Middle East, right? America has so many arms extended to so many places that America's becoming weak.
Right.
You understand? When you start to fight in so many, and this is the reason why is the Israelis said what? They're gonna fight as many as many fronts as they can, because they're trying to draw America in. But this is what the Most High had planned. This is a part of the plan of the Most High. You understand? Draw America into that war. Let America fall. Because when America fall, we won't fall with her.
Right.
We are not of America. You understand? Go ahead.
And swords in their hands.
And swords in their hands. That's what they over there fighting with. All of those guns, those ballistic missiles, these are the swords of the day. You understand? All of those, you see those pages exploding? These are the swords of today. All of those bombs and those tanks going in, these are those swords of the day. Go ahead.
Verse 16. For thou shalt be sedition among men.
Say that again.
For thou shalt be sedition among men.
What does that mean? What does sedition mean? There shall be sedition among men. Sedition is when you cause people to go up against a government.
Oh, like an insurrection.
An insurrection, that's sedition. There shall be sedition among men. When you cause people to go up and overthrow a government, right. You understand? To go up into a capital, right. You understand? That's sedition. You understand? Okay. That's sedition. What we're seeing happening right now in the so-called Israelis is sedition, because you have people going up against that government. Right. You understand? We have people going up against this American government. When you look at Congress and they doing all of that stuff over there for the Israelis and not supporting the people that they should be supporting in America, right. That's sedition. They're going against what the government was made for. You understand? That's sedition. Go ahead.
And invading one another.
Ain't that what they doing over there? They invading one another. Listen, listen, Commanding General Yohana is going to be on Wednesday. He's supposed to be doing that class on World War III. I don't know if it's coming back here. I got to find out from Cat. You understand? But he's doing that class Wednesday. And if I'm not mistaken, we got to be here at 6 o'clock, because Commanding General Yohana's class will start at 7 o'clock. But I'm going to be here for that. I'm going to be here for that. You know?
We had a lot of questions on Sunday.
A lot of questions. You know what I mean? So sedition. That's sedition. You understand? You got men fighting against men. You got governments coming up against governments. You got all types of things happening now. And everything we're going to find out, everything is in that Bible. Commanding General Yohana going to go through all of that. You understand? Let's finish this up. This is going to be it right here.
Come. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Listen, they don't give a damn about the presidents. They don't give a damn about the city council, the Congress. They don't care about none of that. You understand?
Right.
They don't care about none of the kings or the princes. You understand? Go ahead, hit that last part.
Salah. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're going to fall into all of that. You understand what I'm saying? You all right? Oh, okay. But this is it right here. You understand? The course of their action shall stand in their power. The things that happen to them are going to be caused at their own consequences, at their own power. They're bringing whatever happens to them is going to be brought upon them because of the choices that they make. You understand? And with that, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Been bringing this truth since 1969, and what is that truth? That truth is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. And the devil is the Bible that the devil, the white man is the devil in the Bible. Yeah, and with that, I'm gonna turn the class over to Priest Officer Batak. Oh man. I believe that book was over. Oh, it's over here. It's over here.
Shalom, Israel. With the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Since 1969, we've been blanking out blacks and Hispanics are the true Native American enemies. Salak. True biblical Jews according to the Bible. This is security announcements. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister is interested in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, this is a commandment. You can find us in Numbers 18 to 21 and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. It means a tenth in Hebrew and it's pronounced Maishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you're supposed to give to the Treasury Department or the teacher. So if you got $10, the Lord get $1. You know what I'm saying? If you got $1, the Lord gets a dime. It's a priest fund. It's a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give, you can give. We got an upcoming Holy Convocation Wednesday, right? Wednesday is the Feast of the Tabernacles. It was the closing of the feast, right? It was the closing, was a big... Yeah, Wednesday is the closing of the Feast of Tabernacles. We're going to have that right here, and at 7 o'clock, Commander General Yohana is going to give a lecture on World War III. Make sure you want to tune into that. Also, Akim and Akwati to check on social media, ishbk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on, what have you, for UPK events and material. If any brother wants to be a trooper, you're supposed to come to the school all black. Black pants, T-shirt, boots, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, we're going to give it one courtesy salute to the teacher, Men of Israel Majin, Shabbat, Majin, Rock, Yehabah Shimei Al-Shabrakatah,
How about Shimei Al-Shabrakatah?
Azmatah, Smith.